Welcome to another deep dive.
Glad to be here.
So today we're looking at Aubrey Norton.
Okay.
And he's a prominent Guyanese politician.
Yes, he is.
You might even know him as the current leader of the opposition.
Right.
But his journey to get there was... It's been interesting, to say the least.
Yeah.
And we're using his Wikipedia page as our guide today.
Right.
So
That's good.
I think you might be surprised by what we uncover.
I'm sure I will be.
About his rise to prominence.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So where do we start?
It's a story full of ambition and setbacks.
It is.
And some pretty interesting, bold moves that really highlight just how dynamic politics can be, especially in a country like Guyana.
Absolutely.
So let's rewind back to the beginning.
Okay.
Norton's political journey starts early on. He joined the Youth Socialist movement while he was still pretty young.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's almost like
so early on,
we're seeing a glimpse into his future.
Like foreshadowing.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's not just activism for him.
Okay.
He also really pursued a formal political education.
Interesting.
So he actually earned a diploma from the Julio Antonio Mella College.
Okay.
In Cuba.
Interesting.
And then went on to earn his bachelor's at the University of Guyana.
Wow.
Both in political science.
So he had a good foundation.
Yeah. And then...
There's more.
Wait, there's more?
Yeah.
He went all the way to the UK to get his master's degree in international relations.
Oh, wow.
From the University of Kent.
He was really dedicated.
I know. Talk about dedication.
Sounds like he was building a really solid foundation for a career in politics.
It does.
Yeah.
Not sure.
So armed with all this knowledge, he jumps into the Guyanese political scene.
Makes sense.
And he quickly climbs the ranks of the People's National Congress Reform.
Okay.
Or PNCR for short.
PNCR.
It's one of the two major political parties in Guyana.
Okay. Got it.
And get this. Okay, what?
He becomes their general secretary in 1997.
Wow.
One of the youngest people to ever hold that position.
Okay.
That's pretty impressive.
That is impressive, yeah.
It really shows his ambition and his drive.
That is, yeah.
But this is where things start to get a little interesting.
Okay. I was wondering when the drama was going to start.
I know, right?
Yeah.
So Norton ends up clashing with Desmond Hoyt, who was the party leader at the time.
Right.
And ultimately gets dismissed.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And it wasn't just a personality clash or anything.
All right.
It actually stemmed from some deeper ideological and strategic differences.
Interesting.
Within the party.
Yeah, makes sense.
So even early on in his career, he wasn't afraid to really challenge the established order.
So he was willing to kind of stand up for what he believed in, even if it meant
going against the grain and this pattern of challenging the system.
Oh.
Well, it sort of becomes a recurring theme throughout his career.
Interesting.
So after this setback, what happens next?
Yeah. What does he do?
Well, even after this clash, Norton doesn't just disappear.
Right.
He serves as a parliamentarian for the PNCR between 1998 and 2001, proving his commitment to public service.
Yeah.
This really highlights his resilience. He was determined to stay involved in politics despite this early challenge.
It wasn't giving up.
Yeah, it sounds like he wasn't going to let this one setback define his career.
I can see that.
And his journey in Parliament takes another turn in 2009.
Okay, what happens?
He finds himself embroiled in a libel case with Robert Corbyn, who was leading the PNCR at the time.
Right.
Norton had publicly alleged fraud in a local party election, which obviously didn't sit well with Corbyn.
Yeah, I can imagine.
So more internal party conflict.
Lots of drama.
It makes you realize just how much goes on behind the scenes in the world of politics.
It's not all out in the open, is it?
Not at all.
Yeah.
And this particular incident reveals a lot about the intensely competitive nature of internal party politics, where even seemingly small elections can become these battlegrounds for power and influence.
Right. It's all about those small things matter.
Yeah. And the tension between Norton and Corbyn doesn't end there.
Oh, no.
Unfortunately, no.
What happens next?
Things escalate further. And Norton ends up being expelled from the party executive and even from Parliament.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a big...
This all stemmed from his ongoing differences with Corbyn.
Okay.
And it really demonstrates the power of these internal divisions.
Yeah.
They can have a huge impact on a party's unity and effectiveness.
can really fracture things.
Yeah, it's a reminder that even within a political party, there can be major disagreements.
Yeah.
Power struggles. That can really impact the entire political landscape.
Absolutely.
So what happens to Norton after this major expulsion? This is like a pretty significant setback.
It does. Well, it was definitely a setback. But Norton, he doesn't back down easily.
Yeah.
In 2011, he plays a key role in helping the PNCR win back a seat in Region 10.
All right.
It really goes to show his resilience and ability to bounce back from what some might consider career-ending situations.
So it seems like political losses don't keep him down for too long.
Not really, no.
He's always finding a way to contribute, even when outside of a formal position of power.
And this wasn't random.
Yeah.
It highlights his strategic political skills.
Okay.
He was sidelined?
Yeah.
Yeah. But he remained active. He found ways to contribute to his party's success.
So being out of the core leadership didn't mean he was out of the game entirely.
Not at all.
Okay.
And this time away from center stage may have actually helped him in the long run. Allowed him to build expertise, connections.
Okay.
Which positioned him well for a return to a prominent role.
So how does this comeback play out?
Well, in 2015, he's appointed as a presidential advisor on youth empowerment.
Okay.
And by 2019, he's back in the PNCR's executive leadership.
Wow.
It's a pretty remarkable comeback story if you think about it.
Really is.
Yeah.
So all of this leads us to what you could say is a defining moment in Norton's career.
Right.
His landslide victory in the PNCR leadership election in December 2021.
Okay.
He defeated Joseph Harmon and Dr. Richard Van West Charles, securing a really strong mandate with a massive 967 out of 1,200 votes.
That's huge.
Now, this victory was more than just a personal win for Norton.
Okay.
It actually signaled a potential turning point for the PNCR itself.
Right.
His leadership style and his political views were now front and center in shaping the party's direction going forward.
Makes sense.
And his rise doesn't stop there.
Okay.
In April 2022, he takes on the role of leader of the opposition.
Oh, wow.
In Guyana's National Assembly.
Okay.
After Nicolette Henry stepped down.
Right.
This makes him a central figure in Guyanese politics, putting him in a position to directly challenge the ruling party.
This is where understanding the complexities of Guyanese politics becomes crucial for our listeners.
Right.
With this new role, Norton has a significant platform. He's able to influence the national discourse, debate policies, and his actions really carry weight in shaping the future of the country.
So we've seen him as a youth activist, a scholar, a parliamentarian, and now the leader of the opposition.
It's quite a journey.
He's a force to be reckoned with in Guyanese politics.
Definitely.
But to really grasp the potential impact he could have, we need to dig a little deeper into his political views.
Right.
All right, so let's dive in. Wikipedia describes his political ideology as reflecting a working class ideology.
Okay.
What does that actually mean? His political platform and his approach to leadership.
Well, it means that representing the interests of everyday Guyanese is at the core of his platform.
Right.
He focuses on the needs and concerns of working class people and aims to improve their lives through policy changes and advocacy.
So it's not just about political maneuvering for him.
Right.
There's a genuine commitment to social justice. And improving the lives of the people.
For sure.
And this focus on the working class is likely to shape his policy positions and how he chooses to challenge the government.
Yeah, that's something to watch closely as his leadership unfolds.
And speaking of challenging the government, Norton has been very vocal about his skepticism regarding the results of the 2020 Guyanese general election. He's even gone as far as to call Irfaan Ali's presidency illegitimate.
Wow.
Now, that's a pretty bold statement. Especially coming from the leader of the opposition.
It reveals a few things about his approach to leadership. First, it highlights his willingness to challenge the establishment and what he perceives as injustice. Even if it ruffles feathers.
So he's not afraid to stand up for what he believes in, even if it means taking controversial positions.
Exactly. And it's not just words with him. He's also willing to express his dissent in unconventional ways. There was an instance where he refused to shake the president's hand at a public event.
Oh, wow.
As a form of protest.
Wow. That's a pretty powerful statement.
Yeah. You can't ignore a gesture like that.
And it was definitely a strategic move.
Right.
Refusing to engage in this traditional show of respect was his way of making a very public statement about his disapproval of the current administration.
Absolutely.
It seems like symbolism plays a role in his political strategy.
It does.
It's a way to get people talking and thinking about the issues.
For sure.
And it's not just the current president he's targeted.
Okay.
Norton has also made some pretty sharp remarks about past Guyanese presidents.
Okay.
Using some pretty strong words, too.
Oh, like what?
Like disrespectful.
Okay.
Useless. Even comparing one to a robot.
Wow. He doesn't hold back.
He does.
And these comments, while bold, reveal a lot about his deep convictions and his commitment to holding leaders accountable.
Yeah.
He's clearly not afraid to ruffle feathers or speak his mind, even if it means alienating some people along the way.
So we're starting to get a clearer picture of Aubrey Norton as a leader.
Right.
He's strong-willed, outspoken, deeply committed to representing the working class, and definitely not afraid to shake things up a bit.
Right, and so this combination of traits, that makes him such a compelling figure in Guyanese politics.
Absolutely.
But to really understand his potential impact, we need to look at his past actions and how they might inform his future decisions.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
So let's delve into some specific examples of his work and how they might shed light on his approach to leadership.
All right.
It's amazing how Norton's journey really shows us just how dynamic politics can be.
It really does.
He's faced serious setbacks, but he's always found a way to come back, adapt, and learn from those experiences.
He has.
It's really a testament to his resilience and his drive to make a real difference in Guyanese politics.
For sure.
And what I think is so interesting about him is he doesn't really fit neatly into any one political box.
It's hard to categorize him.
I know. He blends this idealism with a really pragmatic approach.
Right.
And he's always ready to kind of challenge the status quo.
Yeah, he's not afraid to shake things up.
It makes him such a fascinating figure, but also maybe a little unpredictable.
It does, yeah.
Yeah.
He keeps you guessing.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into Aubrey Norton's life and career, I'm curious, what do you think about his potential legacy?
Oh, that's a great question.
Like, what kind of mark do you think he'll leave on Guyanese politics?
Well, it's still too early to say for sure.
Yeah.
But one thing is certain. Aubrey Norton is a leader who's not afraid to challenge the establishment.
Right.
To fight for his beliefs and really to speak for those who often feel unheard.
That's a good point.
And those qualities alone, lay a strong foundation for a lasting legacy.
Yeah. And his journey's far from over.
Not at all.
We'll be watching closely to see how his leadership continues to shape the future of Guyanese politics.
Absolutely.
So to our listeners out there, we'll leave you with this thought. Given Norton's really strong convictions, his history of challenging the establishment and his dedication to representing the working class. What could his leadership mean for Guyana?
It's a big question.
I think it's a question that'll be debated.
Yeah, for years to come.
And analyzed for years to come.
Absolutely.
Thanks for joining us on The Deep Dive.